If you pulled out of EFCC, now neither are they. Is it the body that has just been? So when you talk of suspicious fund, as in what?
Suspicious funds is just as plain as you've heard it. Suspicious. Like for instance, I as Senator Fadike have an account, and over the years I've been maintaining this account, no more than 5 million has ever gone to that account. And suddenly now, like about 10 million is coming to it, about 50 million is coming to it. So I'm wondering, where did I get that money?
Even if the funds are genuine, say from the son somewhere,
or
the daughter.
No. The point is this.
Okay.
They are not saying these people are guilty.
Okay.
Track it.
Okay.
When you track it, they know where these funds are coming from.
All right.
And when you know where these funds are coming from, then you can determine whether the funds are genuine or not. And that's the best way to do it. Because, for instance, now you're going to have elections. Funds are not going to come in from individuals alone. They're going to come in from corporate bodies. A corporate body that over the last maybe 1 or 2 years has not been making money. Maybe the business has gone down seriously. And suddenly you see that kind of business springing up with large funds of money. Where does it come from? What did you do to attract that kind of fund? You track it. So they're not saying this will are guilty. Track these funds. It's when you track them that you don't know whether these funds are genuine or not. So it's very plain. That's what we call suspicious transactions.
Like the surveillance on.
Yeah, surveillance is, you see, it's unfortunate that our people are not too savvy enough to know that fund is easy to track now in Nigeria, all over the world. Funds is very easy to track funds because one, as a company, you have a registered company that had been registered. You registered it maybe some 20 years ago. Probably you were politically exposed as a party man. And you got some people to have a company and you register. Now, for those 20 years of registration, that company has not done 1,000 naira business.
Or contract.
And suddenly, you see 100 million, the next thing 200 million. Is that not suspicious? You want to know why are the jobs coming now and they have not been coming before? Secondly, some people use decoys to probably launder money. So that's where surveillance tracks laundered money. Somebody that has not done any business since the beginning of 2022, that has not had any tax payment, but it's because on account of whatever payment you have as a company, that you pay a percentage, which is what Federal Inland Revenue Service looks at. So you have not done business, and suddenly you're having a lot of money in your account. So for a lot of people, EFCC is sounding that note of warning to the banks. Is that the NFIU is doing the same, so that bank officials will be careful, because you need collusion. They need collusion.
How careful?
That's the thing.
Because
if those people, if they believe EFCC and others are not watching, they can conveniently dance around stuff so that their own bank will have funding in its account that it can use for business. They need it. But one, CBN had said trillions of naira that are supposed to be in circulation are not there. Because if money is in circulation, it should go into bank, it should come out of banks. So what is residual in the banks, they have discovered is very far from what is supposed to be. So some people have warehouses where they have kept Nigerian naira. And the people in the streets are hungry. No money, nothing is circulating there.
Of recent, or sometimes banks, authorities have already been accused of complicity. And we are NFIU, EFCC seems to be relying on these people to provide information. Which information? Like of recent, or in the last few year or so, get to ATM, hardly can you find money. And get to POS, you find money. Get to banks, you either get new naira notes. Go outside, go to parties and money, you find new naira being sold. And you are believing, or you are relying on these banks, EFCC and every bank as a way of tracking funds, complicit.
Yeah, you see, right now, it is good to rely on them. If you don't rely on them, there's no way you can track these things, because this is going to the banks anyway. And if you leave them to their own rules and caprices, obviously you cannot track any fund. They have a way of concealing these funds, have a way of putting this fund in line with the banking regulations. and you never can trace that. Now, to say that they have been deficient in the past in terms of concealing funds, doing all sorts of things, is because EFCC itself has not really gone into it. But right now that election is near and the Naira is changing faces, you can be too sure that it will be very difficult. Let me give you an example. If there's a politician now who has maybe about $1 billion at home and doesn't know how to do it, doesn't know how to get to the bank, okay, now let me distribute this money to my kit and kin so that they can put in their bank accounts, and later when I want to distribute these funds, I can get the funds back. This kit and kin, you must first of all know that what do they do for a living? If a boy who's a graduate who has not got a job suddenly is having about 20,000, 30,000 in his account, you are bound to find out, has he started working? What kind of job does he do to attract that kind of money? If you say I'm that person who's in business, like Larry talked about the other time, and which I talked about you, who is in doing business and the business has not been flowing very well, and the bank is even wondering that, are you not going to fold up this business? Suddenly you start having money coming into that account. Then you cannot trace. You cannot see that money will be coming in from these politicians to distribute so that they can have the money back. Because they cannot take this money solidly to the bank. It will be queried. And so that's exactly what EFCC and the FIU is trying to do right now. And with this Naira changing phase, that one is easier done now.
Now, you just spoken to money in circulation, and vis-a-vis what the CBN was saying, and this figure 150 trillion naira suspicious transaction in terms of insurance, asset management companies, brokers, financial transactions, and you think EFCC and FIU will be up to the task?
I will tell you what will happen, because they have given a timeline. Now the problem there is the timeline. They don't want anybody to have those funds with them close to election. And politicians don't want to drop their money before election. They want it for that period. Do you get it? So that it will mean it's working. If not, those who have it ordinarily should just go ahead and reflate the economy by bringing it back to circulation. If you give people around, followers and all, 20, 30,000 naira, it's easier to move, but it's not something that will come back to you. Like Mr. Fadipe said, if you think, how many people will you distribute 1 billion to? Even at 1 million each, you still need about 1,000 people. Is that not so? 10 million naira, 1 million is 10 people. 100 million is 100 people. 1 billion, you need 1,000. So how many 1,000 people do you want to get to give that to? And those 1,000 people will now go to bank with 1 million when it probably was in the negative. By the time they removed the deductions from that, it was zero. So it's difficult. The easiest way around it is to share it. But in sharing it, they don't want to do it when it's far from their election. So that's the problem. So it's good for Nigeria, because at the end of the day, every unaccounted naira that is hidden somewhere becomes waste asset, because if you don't get it somewhere till that deadline, it can't enter bank again. But through, the people on the street selling rice, beans, garri, stuff like that, if you share to some, they will buy from them. So that money will still reflect the economy. You see, the money that turns the economy around is not the one in the vaults. That's the problem they are having now. They kept it stashed somewhere. But now, all the money some people have in their world is inside one pocket. They can put it. The entire money in their whole life. So if you give such a person 25,000 as a gift, you buy beans, the beans person will collect 2,500, the rice person will collect 2,000, oil, pepper, you get. So that's the money is going down the economy, fine. If, on account of you who stashed it, but they should just, unless, and when they are doing that too, they are being watched. Because as the things are going on, you see, the problem with the rich people is that they don't know. That man you paid for to watch over you and secure you, that you pay, is a uniform person. He reports to the office. So this our guy get votes. Those of them with votes in their home, they should know that the government, unless they don't want to have them, they know who has it. They know.
In fact, the votes are useless now.
Well, you talk about the votes. But let me
private vaults.
Let me tell you the school of thought that says Nigerians know how to kind of bypass.
How?
I'm coming back. Let me
Okay,
learn.
finish.
And it's this spoke to big politicians who are close to state governments.
Okay.
States?
No, wait, let him finish.
What role do you think such states will have in such money? I have come across a big politician that loaned the state $6 billion.
Now, let me tell you what happened.
Such money such state may not okay, keep that money for me until after certain period.
No, let me tell you what happens. If I'm a politician now, and I have a lot of money in my hand, I don't know what to do with the money. And I say, okay, maybe if I give this to the state, still keep for me until when I need it. That money has gone to a particular account, which is traceable. Okay? We don't know who brings it.
State government's account.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. You don't know who brings it. But by the time the state government goes to lodge that money in his own account, if you have, at least there's a kind of lodgement statement that this money was lodged by the state government to this account. Fine. You think these people who are watching the state government that you know very well has not been pushing that kind of big amount in his coffers before. And
that is where the complicit of the bank manager is.
That's where I'm coming to. The bank manager will go to jail this time around.
Okay.
Because if the thing is properly traced, the bank manager will go to jail.
Yes.
Why now? Why now? That's the question we are asking now. If it is now that we want to, okay, look at what is happening. America is saying any dollar that was not printed, that was not in the mint before, after 2021 or before 2021 will not be legally tenable. And those one who have these dollars in their bank accounts now, they want to push the dollars out. Where will they push it to? That's what is compounding the whole problem right now. And so when you have a dollar with you, or there's some dollars with you that were printed around 2021, you want to push the dollars out so that you're able to have your returns for the money you are pushing out. You can't do that right now. Because if you query it, you get this amount of dollars. Those who have naira too, you are pushing them out, where do you get this amount of dollars? If you push the state government, if for instance I say I'm a business and I'm loaning the state government some money, that state government is also, that governor, whoever is governor there, or the chief accountant there, he must watch it. He must watch it. I must tell you, there's one thing I learned too now that the politicians are trying to do now. They go to the market unit to big companies who sell products. They deposit him amount of money with this people who sell these products. Okay, give me this much thing I want to use for election. You pay ahead. All right. Now, when you pay ahead, these people who are selling to will have to lodge that money there in the bank.
Well, businessmen.
Businessmen, yes, they have to lodge it. I said, when you lodge it, may you be Pfizer, may you be Cadbury, whoever you are, you lodge that money in the account. When you lodge that money in the account, it is traceable. Who is buying these goods from you? Where did you get this money to buy the goods?
No, that's somebody coming around to buy goods from you.
It's quite different now. It's quite different now because at the time we are doing this now, it's not the normal kind of business that we used to do before. It has gone through certain processes now.
Even when they had a big warehouse,
no matter what you have, when they trace you, if you are not liable, nobody will prosecute you.
Larry, I know you are, but before you, let me add this to it. Sometimes INEC wrote some MD of two big banks. I don't want to mention their names, so I will not talk about for details of 14 accounts being operated by APC, PDP. Up to now, reports.
They've not had the reports. The truth is that, you see, like you said, an individual can borrow a state money.
Yes,
it's possible, it happens. But I will tell you, those who do it, those who have graft in their system won't try that. Those who are well-to-do and love their home states or thereabout can do it. People you can trace to be worth like 200-300 billion, legit,
yes.
Do you remember? Wait a minute. Let me come. Wait.
They call it loan. I want to loan my state this.
Yes.
It might be interest-free. You can say it's interest-free. I just loan you this money so you can take care of it. Take care of my people. People are complaining. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That as it is, people who are not solvent enough, who try that, are taking a lot of risk. But truthfully, some are solvent.
Is state government installed?
You said?
Is state government installed? I installed as a politician.
It doesn't. If you tell the state governor and it's
don't
private
forget,
paying, wait,
and
let
don't
me
forget, the House of Assembly of that state is in his hands.
let me explain some of these things. Let me explain some of these things.
Yes.
Part of it is
Yes.
that I'm saying it is not possible for somebody that is not having capacity to try it. It's risky in the Nigeria of now, in the world of now. There is traceable links to funding everywhere. Everywhere in the world. But now, you see, let me just go to Ike Dairoson. In the 70s, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ directors ló wà tí ò lọ́fíìsì tán níbi iṣẹ́. So they know some people are fraudulent, but those, the days of Odutola Tire, if they say Odutola Tire wants to pay worker salary in a state, do you think he won't be able to? Do you understand? So Anthony Fole Econo in those days, that's what they call it. So if I have that, I pay what is close to salaries that the state government pays to even my workers, because I'm a corporate entity. You understand? So if the state government is having problem paying salaries, individuals of that state can loan money to, but you must be solvent. But in this instance, it has a time frame. Between now and February, you must prove to have been able to do such things in the last 15, 20 years, non-stop. You can't tell me somebody with a company, somebody with a company that is liquidated all over.
About 3 months ago.
Don't get it.
No, I get
90
it.
days.
I'm not reminding you.
You are talking about 90 days. Those 90 days, there's a time frame of when the money itself will come out. It is within that time frame that another time frame of when last you can exchange. So right now we are still using the same currency. So by the time we get to the point of it's out, throw in your old notes or forget it. A lot of these things will become a
I know you want to. Let me add to, aside the political spending we are talking about, counter-terrorism funding.
That's another problem.
Funds in the hands of
yes,
terrorist bandits.
You know, we had it now that the terrorists are not saying that they are not demanding naira from anybody anymore. It's all those people who are in the north. They're not demanding naira from them anymore. If you want to pay us, you pay us in either France or.
And the lands, Military is asking for additional time
yes,
frame.
yes. Now, Military is just playing tricks. As far as I'm concerned. Whoever, Military, they know how to contact each other, even in the bushes. So if you have money in the bushes and you sell cattle, you are carrying your money all around, go back to the bank, prove to the bank that you have enough cattle to be able to worth that what you are depositing in the bank. They will look into it. If your cattle, if your sales are what you do, and who do you sell this cattle to be to rake in such an amount of money? This is the kind of thing they will look into. And that's why immediately those people who have been abducting people, who have been fleecing people of money, they cannot do that now. They won't have the guts to go to the bank to go and say they want to do that. A lot of them will be caught. A lot of them will be jailed. And so they don't want that. A lot of this money is going to liquidate the bushes without them being able to bring some money back into the vaults, to the banks. They won't be able to do it. And that's where the money, and what we have now is just about 2 months. Not 3 months even. Not 3 months.
Okay.
So that's the problem we have now. If you have such a very short, that's why they are busy shouting that please extend this time for us. Extend it for us. And if the government does not extend it, if the CBN does not extend this thing, I'm telling you, Nigeria's naira will be firmer.
Larry, I want you to look at this figure. NFIU, in their report says 103 intelligence reports were sent to the military. And the other 101 to other competent authorities, and another 46 to law enforcement agencies, maybe 250 in all. All of these reports. One will ask, what has become of these reports?
Now, at the point they were talking about political funding, funding by politically exposed individuals. The president insisted they are going ahead with the designing of the naira. They are going to track everyone and they will enforce it, right? We hope he will still hold that belief now that Miyechiala has come open with the public press conference.
Give us more time.
Good. Because all along, the impression had been that everything that appears ethnic, when the hand was to be caught, the president has been given a slap. That's insinuation of nepotism that people have kept saying.
That's
An allegation. That's what I'm saying. That over time. So now that he had spoken firmly, that he is in tune with the central bank, that is in agreement with the central bank that they should do the redesigning and they should not change. And Miyetti Allah came openly to say they were asking for more time, that even if it's possible to hold on about that, then we look at what the commander-in-chief wants to decide. So when NFIU came out to say we sent 103 reports to the army, it's because they believe the army should be able to do some things for them as regards those reports. But the army cannot move without the CIC giving the directives to go ahead and do that. But for those people to come out to say these reports we have given, these ones we have given to other security operatives, is because they probably are getting frustrated to think by reason of information we have given, we were expecting some of reports of like this. You understand? NFIU tracks funds, and a lot of funding goes into the camps of kidnappers and the rest of it. Huge amounts of money. If they're asking millions per individual and they are getting it, how do they get these monies into bank? If they're not taking it to bank, how do they get to spend it? Then those who took the money, the military are saying, don't give ransom. So how did these monies now manage to get to those? So those reports would have indicted some people of collusion and the rest of them. But who has been punished for it?
Reprimanded.
Punished, even punished. You can remind and say we are doing something
Go to the second topic. Yeah. I want to last take on this. There's the Money Laundering Provision Act of 2011, and there's this figure, this report too, that says suspicious transaction risen by 23% in the first quarter of the year, and meaning that 2 million suspicious transactions. But we seem to be living with that kind of a figure.
Nothing.
Like 2 million suspicious transactions, and that's 23%.
Now, you know, as of today now, as things are now, with this new development, it seems as if that kind of suspicious transaction will rise. People will just believe that Shebi is Nigeria, and it goes to Nigeria. They want to have this impunity in them and say, let's go ahead and do it. And if the NFIU and the EFCC, if they are good enough, the problem we have with the EFCC is this. Most of the time when they take cases to court, they don't prosecute their cases. It still baffles me.
Because it's a lack of diligent process.
So what I'm saying is that if they are ready to do what they have to do very well, this time around they should be able to trace a lot of these things that are traceable to people who they should trace this sort of money to, and maybe to apprehend them and do what has to be done. And then by doing that, if they do that diligently, you see Nigeria will wake up. Nigeria will be a better place. But in fact, you are likely to even rein in a lot of people that you never even thought they could very be serious before. By this kind of thing that's happening right now. And that will put some stamp on the fact that people can enforce law.
Well, that topic will continue, but let's go to the second topic, time is against us. And it is time military get orders to tame terrorists before elections. So I'm telling you, is time running out? Order now to tame terrorists that seems to have been with us for years?
Like, all of us have known. You and I know.
I may not know.
That if you know, don't hide under anything. That if these terrorists if the government wants to take out these terrorists, you will not take all of them out. You can decimate them to a very large extent if you want to.
I will not decimate
them.
But
we are always saying that.
Somebody says time is running out.
No, time is not running out.
I will not decimate them now.
No. Time is not running out. Okay. I can say that as things are, you can see the men of the soldiers, the attitude of our soldiers. They say they are ready to go into the bushes and fresh people out. You know what I said the other time? That what are you waiting for? Go into this bush and fresh people out. But keep hearing these words like collateral damage, collateral this, collateral that. But now that the government the president is not talking about collateral, before collateral thing, the government is no longer talking about collateral now. Go out and
tame them.
That's the case. Let the soldiers go in. They can do that. They cannot finish them all off at the same time. You see, there are some remnants that will still be remaining, no doubt about it. But we have seen some kind of peace in that domain.
Larry, sometimes the CNC told us, President Muhammadu, I will leave a secured Nigeria. I'm quoting him now, that's end of quote. And this new order to the military, tame terrorists before election.
I'm glad you said it. I would leave a secure Nigeria, but he ruled an insecure one. He wants to leave a secure one, and he's telling the military to tame. You tame a dog that you can still train. Is that also? Tame is like train or restricted. But a rabid dog is supposed to be decimated. So the language, the choice of language is also directs the reasoning of those who are supposed to do it. First and foremost, we have discovered that there is an inkling that the president probably still sees these people as citizens.
Allegation.
No, as citizens.
Okay.
There was a time he said they should not be spoiling the names of their families. I mean, they are not human. They are like beasts. People who kill, maim, rape, and you're still talking as if they are human beings that should be, I mean, those who want to repent, you don't bring murderers into repentance. Their repentance should come from, I mean, their forgiveness should come from God. There are statutes and laws about people who kill. You understand? So now we are giving them leverage of saying, repent, so that, unfortunately, it's now as if the government is dancing to the tunes of these people. They ask for ransom, they get given. They ask for their people to be released. They relax security so they can go and force their people out of prison. So all of this is not pointing to that seriousness. However, because of elections, and you know that's the idea, tame them so that we can have a seamless election. And after election, well, whatever happens, they should go ahead and act as they should against terrorists. These people kill. Each time they want to arrest or, kidnap on the highways, one or two people's lives, go for it. The value of a Nigerian, those are Nigerians who are doing well, who are probably living their normal citizen civil lives, and they get killed, and the next thing is to start negotiating with murderers. It's unfortunate, but the truth is, the army should be allowed to get their rules of engagement straight and remove the cancer, because they're like a cancer on the system. They are like a cancer. It's affecting the economy, it's affecting the social life, it's affecting religious life. Everything about humanity is affected by the activities of these people. So we should not treat them like they are citizens again, because they have done everything against the constitution of Nigeria.
I'm taking that from Larry. Over the weekend, some leaders of the boundaries were said to have surrendered. From
Okay.
Niger State.
Surrendering. How genuine is that?
You see some members of it. Where that comment.
See the heat.
Maybe that's been smoked out.
Yeah, maybe they've been smoked out. If they are smoked out, what I'm saying is this: when the president was talking about taming them, I want to see that taming from another angle. Taming them and putting them in the right places. When you tell somebody, put that person in the right place, that should be. These bandits should not be in the bushes to start with. They should be behind bars or under the hangman's noose. Okay? And if they cannot be there, then they should be under the bullets. These are the ways I see bandits being tamed. So if they are going to do it that way, they are coming out to surrender. And after some time, when they get integrated back to society again, they go back to the nefarious street. When they know the military has relaxed. So what I'm saying is that when you tame them, how many of them are in jail right now? Are safely in jail, not just in jail. Some of them are in jail, and I must tell you, maybe they are able to even contact their mates out there and try to give instructions, even while they are in jail. Because how can people look at the Kuje prison jailbreak? Look at what happened there. You start wondering, are we really serious about what we are doing? Are we really serious? How can when they tell them ragtag army, no, they are not ragtag. I disagree with that. Ragtag that has sophisticated military weapons, that put on military camouflage, and all sort of things, and you are calling them ragtag, they are not ragtag. Ragtag army is the kind of that we have in the Congos. They'll just wear attack clothes like we have in the CR war. Those are the kind of people are called ragtag. But this one, they are not ragtag. They have all the things that you have. They have the connections. They have military intelligence. They have everything they should have. So I think the government should be ready to face them squarely. Not just saying that some of them are repenting. They are not repenting. They are only coming out to have a rest. They are going to sabbatical.
Okay. This other directive, stop these criminals from distorting polls as we move towards election. Another directive. Because of recent we have witnessed INEC facilities being attacked in virtually about 40 states.
Now, we begin to ask the fundamental question. Are we actually talking about those attacking INEC facilities? Because, for one, the bandits, the Boko Haram terrorists, and those who have been operating in the last 8-9 years unhinged are not about election. It's different. But this time around, those attacks are politically motivated attacks on INEC facilities. Okay. When you now see them
take terrorists towards election,
they've entered the camp of terrorists doing that. And for the nation to now appear to be very serious about those ones, I'm not talking about those who have taken over our forests, who have taken over our communities in the villages, and they are arresting and kidnapping our people, collecting money, raping them. They are different ones. So if you want to control this, you must be total about it. You must be holistic about it. Because at the end of the day, it's easy to go after those who are attacking INEC facilities. Very easy. Because they are coming into the fore of town to do it. But those attacking people on the highways, and within minutes, they've disappeared into the bushes. And nobody is going there after them. Before they start talking to families and they are collecting money, those are the issues that are fundamentally disturbing the nation. Right now, I think El-Rufai is saying, oh, good, because it appears they are actually dealing with some of those people that he had kept on repeatedly saying, we all know where they are. As governor, I know. As GOC, you know. But you're not going after them. It's like saying, look, because you don't have the directive, you need to just ask for it. So if the president has said go after, let them go after. And if it's just because of the election, that is unfortunate. The primary function of government, is the security and lives of its citizens. That's the primary function. So if you're now saying, okay, because we need election that will appear seamless, that will look like I'm handing over to an elective government that is free and fair, that's not enough reason to insecure your nation. Because invariably now we've heard it, that probably some of them are saying they have repented. And it's been in the history of that repentance that they kept on saying, okay, we have dropped our guns, and by the time you reintegrate them, they have gotten hang of everything in society. They go back to the trenches. So it has not worked. Trying to reintegrate, trying to rehabilitate has not worked. We saw camps where they kept them. They flew some of them abroad that they were going to get some training and the rest. Has that changed it? They have come back.
Yeah, I want to last year. The military came out to tell us that they have identified some flashpoints and some states were named. Is that one enough to deal decisively? Having identified the flashpoints.
The military, the police, all law enforcement agents, even the government are supposed to identify flashpoints. We hear of flashpoints here today, flashpoints here tomorrow. And those flashpoints will still be flashing for eternity. So this time around, maybe because of the directive of the CEC now, maybe they are going to do something with this flashpoint they are talking about. We all know, citizens do hear about what is happening. There are certain places now that if you ask somebody, if you want to do something, and you ask somebody, please, can you accompany me to a particular place? That person will tell you no. Not on that road. So we all know these roads where the problems are. We all know the place where problems can happen. There are some places in this Oshobo. If you take a bike today and you say you are going to a particular place, a bike may look at you and say, I'm not going there. Not because of anything, because he knows that's the flashpoint. Anything will happen there. He could be beaten up. His bike will be taken from him. So we all know where these flashpoints are. So for the ministry to now say that you already know where this flashpoint is, you don't have to tell us that. Go in and do what you have to do. If you really mean that you want to do it, they can do it. They want to.
Shall we go to the third point? And Larry, I'm back to you. INEC assurance. No underage person will vote in 2023. That assurance from INEC.
It's a good one. It's what the people have always agitated, that for us to have a free and fair election, then there must be that transparency on the part of INEC. There must be that independence exhibited, and there must be that incorruptible,
Fully fair, credible.
credible election. So, but lo and behold, INEC coming out to say there will be no underage voting is, in the first place, by my own assessment, supposed to apologize to Nigerians. That in the first instance, that registration happened.
Before that apology, let me have somebody say, somebody said, this insistence by INEC, times that number, that underage will not, but there seems to be report case of underage voting that still persists.
I don't know how to get to start. Look at all the successive elections we've had. People are always taking pictures of underage children with voters' cards, going to the polls, and the next time I will tell you, no, it's not going to happen this time around. It will happen again. It's just like saying we are on top of the situation when the situation has already erupted. I mean, I can't understand this. I can't understand this. But I want to believe that this time around, INEC means it, because that night has already started
with the technology.
It has started doing some things now. This disenfranchising some voters. Thousands of them. So maybe this time around it's going to work. And if it works, it's good for all of us.
Larry, that apology you have, but
No, let me come to it. Let me come to you and tell you frankly what is happening.
because it seems to be so peculiar to certain part of the country.
That's what I'm saying. You see, let me explain what I was saying.
Okay.
These are based on INEC's own statistics. 2018 election, over 500,000 Ogun State voters could not get to collect their voter cards. Over 500,000. And I think even in 2015, now the point now is that from some parts of the nation, that was right. I watched in the 2015 elections, some reports by, well, the camera and everything was eventually smashed. AIT, it was reported. They saw a long line of boys of 9, 10, 12, max 14, on a queue, all of them. And the reporter went and was like, how can all of you be? Where are your voters? They brought out valid voter cards.
They're showing it.
Valid ones. Now, where do they collect?
Maybe somebody just said
Now-
the picture we just said, can we have that picture back?
You understand what I'm saying? Now, the question is, how did these boys collect the cards? So in some parts of Nigeria, I will now tell you, even during the Atairu Jega period, these people get their registration cards from palaces. College allegations, the reports, see them. They went, so it's not as if they come to the office. Look, if I'm the officer and a 10-year-old like this comes before me to say he wants to collect his card, won't I say no? They drop cards in some places in bulk. Whereas in some other places or some other parts, you tell people to bring a BVN, to bring DDD so that they can get biometric before. So people get fed up. That's why last week, some people went to INEC office here in Osun and told them, look, PVC collection, we have issues. In some parts of Nigeria, people are not getting it collected. So in some other parts, if they have repeated the palace droppings, are we not still going to face this? Over 2 million in Kano alone.
So if you have to, like, I'll back to you, if you have to think of a kind of reformant INEC, but the record says 437,000 voters cards were not collected in Osun. And this other judgment now, if over 400,000 cards were not collected in Osun, and the recent judgment that just given today, directing INEC not to close registration, where do we go from here?
You see, the problem we have with our people, like INEC, the record,
Yes. Over 400,000 cards.
He said something, he said people are fond of doing something. When we're talking about the authorities, we must always also talk about ourselves.
Yes.
See, because people are fond of this thing. Like I said the other time, actually it's Nigeria. Yeah, they will extend it. I'm not going there to collect. But when it's almost election time, they say that if you don't collect your PVC, you cannot register your child to school. If you don't collect your PVC, you cannot eat rice. You cannot even buy rice in the market. You see people rushing there to go and collect these cards. People are so lackadaisical. People are so, and one reason for this is our politicians have not done well. Let me say that. If the government has done well and people believe in government, and people believe it, when a politician makes a statement, he follows it up. People will be ready to go ahead and do also. But when you see politicians, they say, that's the way they see it all the time. Nothing will come out of it. And so, because of that, they won't even be ready to go out and to do any registration, to go and collect any PVC. What is the of this PVC to me? We're going to collect it. When I collect, I won't even go to vote in the first instance. So why should I go and collect it? So they leave it there. And that's why you find a lot of voters' cards there, not being collected. And some of these people who have these voter cards, on the other hand, are dead. You just see the voters' card there, they're not being collected. Some of them are relocated, and they have not bothered to even do a change. What are the problems?
INEC said it's clearing its portal. As I just mentioned, those who are dead, those who are relocated. And
for example, somebody look at all this Japa syndrome recently. People have gone en masse to Canada, to a lot of places, and they have forgotten about what you call voters card. So what I'm talking about, they won't go to collect.
Okay, I want to just come in to say that those who went to INEC office, of course, I heard the report of the Osun State Rec, were young people. They are captured part of those new registrants who are complaining. I will tell you what one of the complaints, that fine, this is my house, and there is a registration portal where our people vote, and I want to vote now, although I was not interested all along, but now that we have taken interest as young people, we want to be part of this election. They went there to register. The INEC is now saying, okay, you have checked your name there at that place, but to collect, we will start from local government secretariat. So if my local government is Ipenido, Oshobo here, and where I registered is just a walking distance to my house, which is the walking distance where I will vote. You are not telling me to go to Ojaba. Who will give me transportation to Ojaba and back? So that people will be disinterested. That's why the young people are saying, where you registered people, go and give them their cards there. Do you get it?
But now there are so many.
Now they are saying
there are so many of these newly created polling units.
By whom?
By them.
Fine. Those newly created polling units that you said people should register, go there and give them their cards. If you don't want, now saying we'll first of all start from the local government secretariat, then we will go to the ward. The ward might not be polling units. That ward comprises of a councillor will be in charge of the ward that might have polling, like 15, 20 polling units. So you now say ward. Even some people don't know the ward registration center. That's where they will go. So along the line, they are believing those who are new registrants are, in a way, tactically being drawn back so that disenfranchisement will come.
Your final take.
Yeah, just
sanctity of Nigerian.
Yeah, I just want to say it's not only about elections. We are talking about statistics. We are talking about system. I think we must put the Nigerian system on track. If you don't put the Nigerian system on track, you are wasting our time. After elections, things will break down again. So don't let's focus only on elections. Let's focus about the system itself. Let's have standard system that will work for us. So that by the time it comes to election, we don't have to be running around from pillar to post.
Okay. Time is against us. Time with fast spent. We hope to be back in this tomorrow. Larry.
Nice to be here, but I want to just chip in that, please, as a nation, we should take a cue. We have seen in America, you can vote a month before a general election.
That will come.
You can vote. Yeah, let's get there. So we know that technology has taken us. So we should
up, and he's saying we will get there.
Thank you. Let's get there.
Yeah, we'll get somewhere that's good, but only with a collective effort. Don't just say government. All of us should rise up and say, okay, we want to take our destiny in our hands. That's the way to do it.
Well, until tomorrow when we hope to be back in the newsroom, like I said, we have spent our time. My name is Oda Olani Pekun. Good evening.
Mondays through Fridays, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. in the newsroom. You can't afford to miss it.
Bàbá lọ́jà yàlájẹ́ oníṣòwò kéékèèké pẹ̀lú oníṣòwò ńláńlá. Ẹjọ́ TV channel o lè jọjà yìí tàyẹ sọ fún wọn. OSBC lókè balẹ̀ yìí channel 32 UHF náà lẹ̀ sọ. Channel 32 UHF ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wá síbẹ̀ wọn. OSBC channel 32 kí ló ń ṣe níbẹ̀ gan òjijì tún lè ṣàdùrẹ́ ṣe ọmọ. Wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ àsìkò ní àjọyọ̀ àjò tó kọ́ ní lọ́gbọ́n lọ́lọ́kan òjò kan àwọn orin àsìkò tó tún bàbá mú gidi ẹ ṣe publicity fún business tí a jáwó ìwọ lọ rí wọn tún lè ṣàdó bàbá ọgbọ́n ṣòkòrò kí lókè balẹ̀ náà wà ó ṣòkòrò kí lókè balẹ̀ náà wà ó.
ọyẹ ìtẹ̀lé mi ká lọ gbogbo ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ìpínlẹ̀ ọmọlúàbí gbogbo Nàìjíríà pátápátá ìjẹ́ lọ OSBC ilé àwíyé lókè balẹ̀ gangan ní ìlú Òṣogbo òròkè àsálà orí ìròyìn ìmúròde ò sílò omi o dírẹ́bà gbé mi òdodo ọ̀rọ̀ o dírẹ́bà gbé mi kọ́ bá ti gbé mi dóṣogbo ò sílò omi o máa béèrè OSBC máa béèrè ilé àwíyé máa béèrè amóhùnmáwòrán o.
Open defecation can cause severe infections. Stop it.